Well, go on, people. What you saying? It is I, Diligent Fingers. Welcome to another morning blog. I'm out on the local park. Excuse me, sorry. I'm out on the local park at the moment and shit. It's about 6:15, 6:30, 7:15 in the morning. I have already filmed one of these videos, but I thought I'd film it again. Really, because as I was recording it and talking about things, I realised a couple of things that I should touch on, really. And that getting deeper into, the video that I made yesterday and why I felt the way that I did yesterday. And upon further reflection, I realised that it all stems, which it always does when it comes to these situations, but it all stems from growing up. See, I've always ended up in situations where if I feel like I'm better off alone, dealing with things alone, then I just do. It's become second nature at that point. And it's because, you know, going into foster care and being separated from my brothers and sisters at a young age, around that time of, my family going through a really bitter and like violent divorce and stuff, finding out that who I thought was my dad was not my dad, or who I came to believe was my dad was not my dad. Do you know what I'm saying? My brothers and sisters found that out. We're kids, do you know what I mean? And when we're upset with each other, we're going to use, what we can to hurt each other. And that was something that was used against me when I was younger and stuff. Then going into care and, like I said a second ago, being separated from my brothers and sisters because they went back to their dads and I stayed in care. I think from there, that's where I started to feel like, okay, well, I'm out on my own. I'm in situations and groups, do you know what I mean, that I'm not used to. I'm a fish out of water, basically. And it's carried on from there. So I think when situations like that happen where I feel like I'm part of a tribe, or it's beginning to feel like I'm part of a tribe, and then I get shown that maybe I'm not, do you know what I mean? Or I end up feeling because of the situation that maybe I'm not part of that tribe. Like, it affected me. It affected me in a big way, to the point where it put me in a depressive state for a whole day, and caused me not to do anything the next day. Like, this happened on a Monday, and then the Tuesday I wake up making a video about it and doing nothing but thinking about it the whole day, ruminating on it as well as other things. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, when talking about it and reviewing, like someone trying to call me out on it yesterday, and that led to more videos, and then it led to me remembering to put up 2 more videos from 2021, going over a situation where somebody else is trying to call me out, and trying to call me out in regards to, for someone that professes to be all about mental health and uplifting people, do you know what I mean? But when someone does come to you, you don't uplift them. And I'm going to touch on that in a sec. Because that's something that has been sort of that where people have tried to levy that against me a few times, and it really shows more about them than it does about understanding me as a person and how I approach mental health and how I present myself in regards to mental health. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, from an early age, I felt like I was an outcast, basically. My dad was different. My family would treat me different as a result of, me being the first and shit. Me being the first grandchild or whatever the fuck. And that growing up, coming out of care, felt like an outcast. Do you know what I'm saying? Going to school, everyone else is going home to their homes, their families, their parents, and I'm going home to parents that are not mine, foster parents and shit like that. I've made music about being an outcast. I've made a whole EP about being an outcast. Do you know what I mean? It's almost become a part of my identity. So when it comes to being on my own, doing things on my own, living life on my own, it's almost, like I've said before, I think it's almost second nature, you know. I've collected so many friends and fallen out of touch with so many friends over the years, over my 42 years. Where it's gotten to the point where I don't feel like I've had an actual lifelong friend that I've kept up with for like since we were kids and this, that and the third, since school. Like I've never had anything like that. So again, when it comes to situations where I feel like I'm part of a group, I feel like I'm part of a tribe, and then a situation happens that makes me feel like I'm not. I think it has more of a profound effect on me because of my childhood, my teenage years, because of unresolved abandonment issues and the things like that. You know, why that situation yesterday really affected me. And it could be seen as entitlement. I don't see how, but it could be seen as that. I'll concede. Do you know what I mean? In my situation, it wasn't entitlement because I don't feel like I'm entitled to anybody's time. I'm always grateful for the time that people do spend. If you watch my streams, it's something that I always say. I'm grateful, thankful for anybody that chooses to spend their time with me. It's funny because now I think about it, that might be a play. Mary might have been saying what she said yesterday as a play on something that I have said. You should be grateful that anybody chooses to spend their time with you. It's mad. It's mad. All right. Let's touch on it. Let's touch on it. Actually, no. We'll leave it there. The only thing I'll say is I find it very funny how the tone of things can most definitely switch. The approach of somebody can most definitely switch. Yeah. When somebody gets pushed back. When I got called out yesterday, which the videos you'll be able to see. Do you know what I mean? It was a very interesting day yesterday. When someone tried to call me out yesterday, their first approach was to tell me that I'm self-absorbed, I feel entitled, you know, I feel like I have the right to be hurt because I wasn't included in somebody else's time, feelings and experiences in this, that and the third, you know. They were trying to make out as if I was unjustified in feeling like I am entitled to anybody's time, do you know what I mean, or experiences or anything like that, when, you know, Mary had no idea of the situation that I'm talking about, or that I was talking about, sorry. I make a video responding to her comment and that, and the next response is telling me how sad I am for responding to her comment and making a video about it. But then she's writing another massive paragraph. But it's changed now. It's all about concern for my well-being and offering out advice, and you know, if I wasn't willing to take people's advice and comments and stuff, then I shouldn't have made the video in the first place. But at the same time accusing me of singling her out when there was only 2 comments, and there's still only 2 comments other than myself replying to the other comment that are on the previous video, yesterday's video. But apparently I was singling her out of the hordes of comments that were left on my page. I was singling her out and making things public when she commented on a public video. Do you know what I mean? She commented on a video that I made public. And with me, if it starts off in public, it gets finished in public. Do you know what I'm saying? And shit, so... And even with saying that, it could be said that, oh, well, me talking talking about this situation publicly is me making it publicly. I beg to differ. Me talking about a situation that I've gone through and how I feel about it and this, that and the third, especially to a camera. I'm not having a conversation with anybody else about it. I'm just talking to a camera. So I'm literally just sounding off and getting things off my chest. Is a lot different than actually going to somebody and that somebody else and talking about the situation with a view to be horrible about those other people. As I said yesterday in yesterday's video, I have no idea why I wasn't told. I won't be able to get any idea about it because I have not spoken to them about it. Because I'm trying to really figure out how I feel about it and why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling about it. I'm trying not to be irrational. I'm trying to not to be led by hurt and that, because I was hurt by it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to check myself before anything else. And I'm not even going to touch on it. I'm not even going to talk to them about it. I'm not even going to look for the answers or anything like that and shit. Especially after the last couple of days of actually like getting it off my chest publicly and the situations that's happened and stuff. I'm just gonna leave it where it is, because in the grand scheme of things of, you know, what's important and what I need to do, I need to fix myself. I need to fix insecurities and problems with myself first before I can look at anybody else. That's what it all comes down to, really and truly, and that's why I said there's no point. What's it going to serve me? Me going to them, oh, I was hurt about this. You lot did this to me, and I didn't like it. Like, what's it? All right, and they're going to say what they're going to say, and we move on. What's it going to solve? What's it going to change? What's it going to do to boost me, bettering myself, disciplining myself, fixing the things that I need to fix about myself that never involved them and that situation in the first place anyway? What is it going to do? Nothing. So what's done is done. And a lot of the times, especially at this age, you know, I feel like it's better to just accept things like that. Do you know what I'm saying? You can talk about things and stuff, you know. You can talk about, you know, situations to figure things out and stuff, but what's done is done. A lot of time can be wasted, even with ruminating, even with doing things like this. Do you know what I mean? I admit, a lot of time can be wasted going over things that just can't be changed. I said this yesterday. Me talking about it and doing these videos is not going to change the fact that it happened, and it's done. It's done. It's done. It's how you move forward from it that makes the difference. It's how you move on from it that makes the difference. And that's in all aspects of life. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Yesterday I woke up late, and not because I was depressed. Depressed about other things as well as what happened. Do you know what I'm saying? Today, especially after what happened yesterday and having people trying to call me out and other things that happened yesterday, but also having like a couple of really good phone calls that sort of helped get my mind straight. And it wasn't even like it wasn't even with the people that were involved yesterday. Do you know what I'm saying? He was with a younger 23-year-old guy, and that we're linking up on Friday and that for a booking, last minute booking and shit. And we ended up on the phone for like two hours and 45 minutes going through everything. I ended up opening up to him about a lot of stuff, and the man's wise beyond his years. But it was good to be able to hash it out with somebody with no judgment. Do you know what I'm saying? No history, no preconceived things. Do you know what I'm saying? And they weren't listening to try and fix things. They were just listening. They were just listening, and then just gave their opinion on stuff, and it was helpful, man. It wasn't planned. wasn't looking for anybody to do that with. Do you know what I mean? It always starts from the common question of, you know, how are you? How has life been treating you? And rather than lie and do the whole, oh, I'm fine, mate, everything's fine, I'm all right, everything's fine, when I know I'm not. And when I know, like, and they can probably tell that I'm not. I'd rather just be honest and touch on things and that, but then that leads into elaborating and things like that. And yeah, it was a wicked conversation. It was a very, very wicked and long phone call it ended up being, and we related on a lot of stuff and opened up to each other, man. Opened up to each other. It was good. It was good. Put a proper smile on my face, do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. Just had to find it, just be grateful and just thank him for listening, thank him for offering his perspective. Just to get a fresh fresh set of eyes on things, you know? So yeah, man. Today, a whole lot better. A whole lot better. Feeling a whole lot better about things. So today is definitely going to be better. But I think I definitely realised what it was that led me to end up having the reaction and feeling the way that I felt. And that needs to change. In the previous video that I filmed, do you know what I mean, before realising what the true lesson is, in the previous video that I filmed, I said that, you know, it's me that needs to make the effort to either build my own tribe and keep that tribe, or for me to, you know, fit it into the tribes that, you know, I do feel like I am appreciated. Do you know what I'm saying? I've always said, go to where you're appreciated. Don't fight to stay where you're not. Always said that, and it's true. That's what you should always do. Always go to where you're appreciated. Don't fight to stay somewhere you're not, just for the sake of it, man. There's just no need. It's going to do more damage than good, you know? So that's what I'm going to do. I might spend a lot of time trying to find the places where I feel like I'm truly appreciated. Do you know what I mean? But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, you know? That's life. But if anything has got to change, I have got to make the effort to not be the Lone Ranger. I have got to make the effort to really, truly, like I said, find my tribe or build my own tribe. And that means I can't be so quick to just be like, oh, well, I'll just do it by myself. More work needs to be done. And that's okay. Because life is ever evolving. Life is the biggest learning curve ever. That's okay. So yeah, man. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health, because good mental health is wealth. And as always, blessings to you all.